Hello and welcome to another lively edition of A Splash of Paint, brought to you in association with the SAA, Society for All Artists. Today's programme is a colourful collection of practical demonstrations and exercises to inspire your artistic passion and encourage you to try something new. So sit back and enjoy 60 minutes of the latest creative tips and techniques from some of today's most popular leading artists. Let's dive straight in and take a closer look at some of the highlights coming up on today's programme. Mixed media artist Jan Gardner has fun taking colour on a walk in our regular Art Bite feature. Versatile SAA artist Maurian shares his passion for painting with SAA oil brushes. I'll be demonstrating how to turn a reference photograph into a picture-perfect painting. Watercolour wonder Geoff Kersey pops in to lift the lid on his box of tricks. And popular SAA artist Marilyn Allis unlocks the secret behind getting to grips with scale and proportion. So let's get started and enter the vibrant world of mixed media with popular artist Jan Gardner as she experiments and has fun taking colour on a walk.
Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make some marks on the collage paper that I prepared earlier. And it's the Hannah Muller paper that I've painted with the Atelier acrylic, and now we're going to make some marks on top so that we can use these pieces in a ripped up way or whichever shape you would like to use and collage them onto a final piece. So I'm going to start initially by actually literally using the dropper from the ink, and this is the FW ink, and I'm looking at obviously a nice cool colour on top of a lovely warm pink magenta. And I'm just looking at a couple of other things that I can use as tools. So it's actually just literally taking the colour for a bit of a walk, just creating some texture and meanderings. So that's a really nice contrast to begin with. I'm now going to use my dip pen, which is your, I think they call it a sketch pen, that you can get at the SAA, which is a really nice controlled way to use marks. So I'm making sure that the nib is dipped in and fully coated with the ink in order to make a really lovely line. And the art of the dip pen literally is to pull your nib across. So you're pulling the colour across the background colour. I'm just doing a little wandering, meandering at the moment, but what's also nice is you can do very close lines together, really close, and the art of cross-hatching, which makes a really nice tone. And you've always got to keep your dip pen dipped in to the ink, to the acrylic ink, in order for that to happen. What you've got, the succulence of the acrylic base pulling the ink into the paper now. So you're going to create lots of marks with this fine nib, and it's actually really, really important to keep the nib as wet as possible. I mean, I'm actually not making things look like things. I'm literally mark making, and that's the essential point of doing this exercise, because you're literally seeing what the nib does, and you're pulling the colour across another colour. And I'm going to try another colour on this background just to see how that develops too. Just clean that from the turquoise. And you can make patterns, you know, we can do little circles, we can do little stipples, groupings of small marks, make very rich pieces of colour onto colour. And it's down and up, down, so you can get thick and thin lines. Quite a range here of taking literally a line for a walk. Let's see what happens with that sort of a mark. And it's not like having to write, it's just literally mark making and enjoying the mark making, taking over from one line to another. So you're joining colours. And then you can always make shapes similar but linear. So you've got linear marks, crosshatch lines, curves, circles. It's all about enjoying those marks on top of a background colour. And just for a contrast, we've had a purple and we've had a blue on the cerise colour. Let's just see. Really quite a nice strong. Take those for a little meander across. This then gives you a rich background to draw into and use again on to another piece of work. Okay, thank you.
Mixed media is perfect for experimenting with lines, tones and colour. There are no set rules, it's all about trying something new, making your mark, and most of all, having a bit of fun. Why don't you experiment yourself and show us how you get on? Simply upload examples of your work on the community section of the SAA website, saa.co.uk, for more details. Now, we've ordered the saying, the right tool for the right job. Let's see what Murray Ince, probably best known for his work on oils, had to say when we asked him to tell us more about his favourite artistic tool.
Today I'd like to talk about the SAA hog bristle oil painting brushes. I'm most well known really for my oil painting, and these brushes are the ones that I use, and they're lovely. I mean, this is a size 18 round, and it's got a nice lot of spring. It's got a nice point, and it's a big brush obviously, but you pick up a lot of paint and it holds a lot of paint. Also, so they're the round brushes, and they go right down to a number 2. So for detail, it's ideal. They're a very reasonable price, so they're affordable if you're just starting out in oil painting especially, and they're really good brushes to work with. This is a filbert, and it has the advantage of being flat with a rounded end. Another name for them is cat's tongue, and they're great brushes for doing areas where you're using the flat of the brush. I use these a lot for painting clouds. They're great because you can shape the top of the cloud, pull down into the sky. You can also pick up the paint by pulling the brush through and then turning it over, pulling it through again, and you can use then that edge for doing little linear strokes. And again, they go down to a number 2, so you can do quite fine detail and still have the advantage of the flat and the round together. And the flat brushes are quite a good length bristle on them, and they're good for, I use them a lot for doing things like windows and doors when you want a straight stroke of paint. They're ideal. And they're great quality for the price. They're great little brushes, and I use them in all my oil painting. I also use them for acrylics, but as long as you wash them out, it's fine. So SAA brushes, great value for money. If you're starting out, get yourself some, you won't regret it.
You all know that different mediums require their own set of tools. Whatever you're working in, watercolours or acrylics, painting with pastels or sketching, having the right tools and equipment can actually save time, money and make a real difference to your finished works of art. So whatever your favourite medium, check out the home shop section of the SAA website for unbeatable prices on thousands of top quality brand name art products and supplies. Visit saa.co.uk for more details. Right folks, time for a little break, but join us in part 2 when I'll be using one of the reference photographs taken in the Derbyshire countryside to paint a picture perfect autumn landscape from the comfort of my home-based studio in Langworth. I'll see you very soon for more Splash Your Paint.